This week's election showed the power of women voters. Though they outpaced men in voter turnout, they are unprecedented in public office. John Jessup introduces us to one historic leader in Missouri who's mixing the spiritual and the political to help rebuild the city of Ferguson.
During the unrest of 2014, the Ferguson Police Department symbolized the anger and frustration with what was seen as heavy-handed policing, not just here locally, but on the national level as well. While the city has acknowledged its past failures and is making changes to become more community-oriented, a few blocks away, other changes are being made.
Hello, Barbara. This is Mayor Ella Jones.
Ella Jones spends long hours in City Hall and racks up a lot of mileage outside these walls, both in her pickup or on her feet. Behind her approachability lies an analytical mind, a trained chemist with a clear sense of style, solidified as a sales director for Mary Kay. Then her career path took a turn in 2014. Was Michael Brown's death part of the reason why you decided to run for office?
It was the only reason.
First elected to city council, then in 2020.
History tonight in Ferguson as the city's first black and first female mayor was sworn in.
She took the helm as the city's top elected official, promising to move Ferguson forward after the uproar over the fatal police shooting of Brown, an unarmed black teen, a reality she compares to being in a pressure cooker.
If you put that top on that pressure cooker and it's not fastened the way it's supposed to, and when that heat hit it, it's gonna splatter. And you cannot put all of that back in the pot. And it takes you time to clean the mess up that's on the wall. The same analogy. We're still working on it.
In an already tense situation, we reported on the ground in Ferguson when the city erupted in chaos and traveled back this past summer to track the progress. At King of Soul restaurant, you get the sense of coming home. The family-owned business opened during the height of the pandemic in 2020.
Minus the bad publicity, Ferguson is thriving. Not only do we own 2 businesses in Ferguson, my children go to school up the street in Ferguson, so great place to live, great place to own a business.
Smiles and laughter here now replace the rioting. Still, there are permanent reminders of the pain. This bronze plaque replaced the makeshift memorial for Michael Brown at the site where he drew his last breath. His death didn't just spark national protests and leave a community outraged and grief-stricken. It served as a wake-up call for the nation to have difficult and necessary conversations, and served as a call to action for both the city of Ferguson and the family of Mike Brown. We spoke with Mike Brown Sr. during the city's Unity celebration. While he still mourns his son, Brown appreciates the attempt to rebuild community.
It plays a part on both sides. It's the community and the police department, you know. Somebody gonna have to meet in the middle, you know, but we got to start somewhere.
For the past 9 years, the police department's teamed up with businesses and volunteers to fry food and give away free backpacks to local kids at the start of the school year. And families line up for food, fun, fellowship.
Father, that everyone here realize that this is for unity, together, and not apart.
And faith, with prayer tents to offer spiritual support for parents and their kids. The mayor came up with the idea in the wake of Brown's death and protests. As an AME church pastor, she tells CBN News she doesn't mind fusing politics with a little bit of faith.
When I first took the seat back in 2015, I said, I don't know anything about government, but I know how to pastor people. And I started doing pastoral care.
Area churches see and feel a spiritual significance in the message of Unity Weekend.
You know, heaven's every race, tribe, color, and tongue. And if we can't get along here, heaven's going to be harder. You know, and so this is heaven practice. We're trying to do now what's going to happen for eternity in heaven.
After winning a second term this year, Jones plans to lean on her pastoral skills as she listens and visits her constituents, young and old alike. The mayor says she's also picked up a few valuable political lessons.
In this business, I've learned you don't have any permanent enemies, no permanent friends, just permanent interests. And if you could just work on the interests and leave all the emotions and all of the pettiness out of it and work on the interests of the people, you'll be successful at what you do.
As part of the new leadership reflecting the city's 70% black population, Mayor Jones says she's proud to have helped create Ferguson's first ever comprehensive plan and pledges to resolve issues with the city's police department by next year. About a decade later, some businesses have rebuilt. Others, like King of Soul Restaurant, are investing in the future of Ferguson with new shops. Still others never reopen, and that includes the Quick Trip that burned down at the site behind me. In its place, the Ferguson Community Empowerment Center, which houses the Urban League and the Salvation Army, where instead of filling up on gas, the goal is to fuel hope with practical ways of helping families and the community heal, grow, and thrive. In Ferguson, Missouri, I'm Jessup, CBN News.